Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where today we're starting a new game, and I bet you can't guess who we're playing. In the comments of the previous episode, people seemed pretty set as a group on three factions. The Morgar, the Auriga, and the Mykara, because apparently it's very important to make me say all of the hard-to-pronounce names as often as possible. Of those three, I think the Mycara make the most sense to do next. First of all, the single city playstyle is going to provide a nice contrast with the thing that we did in the last game. And secondly, we've seen their mechanics from the outside a couple of times now, and I think it'll be good to get a grasp of exactly what they were doing and what they were going for with all of those fungal blooms they were building and stuff, so... We'll get to the others, for sure. The Morgar are super cool. And the Auriga are actually my favorite faction by a pretty large margin, and I'm saving them. They're sort of they're Endless Legend dessert, I guess. Although saying it like that sort of implies that I intend for them to go last, which is not the case. What I think is probably going to happen is that at some point in the series, I'm going to lose like 4 games in a row and have to pull myself out of the spiral. I'm going to end up in a really dark place, and the Auriga are how I'm going to fix that. So, maybe more of an Endless Legend ripcord than Endless Legend dessert. But anyway, today, Mykara. Ancient dwellers of the subterranean realm with mycelial webs stretching throughout the crust, the Mycara are one of Auriga's oldest species. Legend has it they have broken onto the surface many times through the ages, in an eternal struggle with the great Urkin beasts. So the core idea here, our affinity, is the creeping presence. We have a single city, we start the game with one settler, and we're never allowed to build another one. And then we can create fungal blooms on points of interest in our regions and in neutral regions. So we saw plenty of this in the last game and also the first game in this series. A point of interest is any tile with a strategic or luxury resource on it, or a watchtower foundation, or a minor faction village, or a ruin. On most of those things, the bloom does exactly what you would expect. You know, it harvests the resource or whatever. On the ruins, in addition to preventing other players from interacting with the ruin, which is just an annoying thing to do, it allows us to use the ruins as travel points. We can move from any ruin that is Mycara'd up to any other ruin that is Mycara'd up, no matter the distance between them. So, obviously, that has some pretty great value. Our Eclipse effect allows us to buy out progress on fungal blooms using dust. Ordinarily, each fungal bloom that is growing is consuming food from the main city, which sucks. So being able to buy them out is great. I'm going to level with you here. The Mycara are probably my least played faction, partially because single city stuff is just sort of like, that's not what I showed up to the 4x for usually. And secondly, because they're kind of from a later faction, so I just don't have enough playtime with them to really have a good sense of how much we're going to be able to use Twilight Flourish. To some extent, this is going to be a learning experience for all of us. We'll work it out together. Our extractors are inefficient. They only give half value, so of course we're going to have to build way more of them. Our city recovers its fortification very quickly. You know, if somebody damages the walls, they just grow back, which is gross. We get a bonus in our main city of industry production, equal to 15% of the food production of the city. So, obviously, like, food is even more important for the Mycara than it is for everybody else, and it's already very important for everybody else. And then finally, they have the overgrown cities. This is the coolest thing. Honestly, this is one of the coolest mechanics in any 4X game, I think. Although we can only have one real city, we can still get cities from other players, either through capturing them militarily or by trading for them, which is a thing that you can sometimes do with a friendly player. If we get another player's city, we begin to grow over it with fungus, and if the process of integrating it into the colony succeeds, then it works as sort of an outpost for us, and we gain a permanent unique trait. And there's a different one for each faction. So, you know, if you integrate a Vaulter city, you get a science boost of some kind. If you integrate a Broken Lord city, you get a dust boost. I think it's super cool. It's a really interesting way to incentivize you to interact with the other players, and like not just to interact with other players, but specifically to interact a little bit with each other player, which is really cool. I'm very much looking forward to taking over some cities. And also, you cannot build anything in the new city, you cannot expand its borders at all or anything, but it still claims its region for you, so it gives you some friendly territory, and all of the tiles that it's sitting on do contribute their resources back to the home city. So it is a big power gain to do this. And then we have our unique techs and our units and stuff. We'll see that all in context. We start the game with cultivation and topography unlocked. Both very, very good early game techs. And a couple of people asked if we could try playing with more players. So as we saw a little bit in the first game of the series, the engine breaks down under the complexity toward the end of the game, just a tiny bit, but I'm willing to give it another shot here. And you know, on Impossible, the AI are aggressive enough that there almost certainly won't be 8 players left in the endgame anyways, so yeah, we'll give it a shot. So, an important lesson to learn from last game is the speed at which a game of Endless Legend goes with the LCP on the Impossible difficulty. Round about turn 100, multiple enemies were generating victory notifications. We're making like actual progress on a victory condition, right? And that is probably going to hold pretty steady. You know, we'll see it wander a couple turns earlier or a couple turns later, but that gives us an idea of how quickly we need to be getting our own stuff done. We just do not have a lot of time to sit around, unfortunately. Which probably means that this is going to take a couple of tries, particularly with the Mycara. Like I said, I'm not very experienced with them. We may lose 1 or 2 as I'm trying to figure out how we play at the pace that everyone else is going to be playing at. You know that bar filled all the... Oh, there it is.
I unearthed an ancient organism and named it Mykara. Hardy, energetic, invasive. I encouraged its growth, let it in. It transformed our knowledge, our lives, our understanding of the Urkins. But the mages, our old enemy, gained control of one of them. And together, they slaughtered all but one. Me. That day I gave myself fully to the Mycara. And we became a fearsome power, hungry for vengeance.
So I sort of love the implication there that basically games of Endless Legend have been playing out across Auriga for a very long time, and we're sort of just present for the last one, the one right before whatever's going on with the climate spirals to a stop. So we have already met the Draken player, of course, as always, and we can already see another player's border too, which makes me a little nervous. I kind of thought that this might be, we might have more room. Okay. Within 5 turns, search that relic. I kind of thought there might be more room per player here, but boy, we are right up in it already. So, the tile we started on is adjacent to 3 anomalies. This may well be the best place to settle, but we're still going to have a look around before we go making that call. Is this the ocean? Yeah, okay, this is proper ocean weather. So we are in a coastal territory. That gives us some interesting options. Just kind of scouting around here as usual. Okay, so we can see all the tiles up there. I mean, do I want to meet blue right away? Right at the beginning of the game, the AI usually has a pretty solid military advantage over you. And depending on who our neighbor is, they might be in position to just eat us, like, immediately. Obviously, they'd have to get the influence together to be able to declare war, but it is not necessarily safe for us to meet them. They can't declare war on us until after they've made formal contact. We can maybe buy some time. So I'm debating. I mean, this region seems fine. We can see there's a ruin down there. Here, we'll have our hero run that way. There's no sense in exploring up here any further. Okay, so yeah, this region seems totally okay. This starting tile, the tile we actually spawned on, seems great, and the rest of it's, like, fine at best. But a lot of food. We're pretty low on industry here, which does make me a little nervous. We have forest we can expand to. Part of me kind of wants to move toward the coast. Settling near the coast, an initial settle near the coast, is very powerful. No, there's no way though, right? There's no way that we wouldn't want to just drop it here. Look at the outcome. Plus 20 natural approval. And obviously approval's never going to be a big problem for a single city faction, but like, yeah, we have to. It has to go right here, right? So, Sharan. And we have a single Eyeless One's village in the region. Okay. May as well turn that off. So we're not going to need it again anytime soon. So, let's get... Yeah, we need our basics. We're probably going to have to focus on industry in order to get things done. Doesn't change the number of turns until the first birth. We're definitely hoping for some early dust here. So, we can begin overgrowing ruins right away. Before we can overgrow strategics or luxuries, we need the appropriate technology. And minor faction villages have to be pacified before they can be overgrown. Speaking of minor factions, I am inclined to grab Language Square first before Mill Foundry. We have some things to build in the meantime, and hopefully we'll get some dust and make that work. We have a really nice early game science score. Yeah, I think this will do for now. We'll have this unit try to get up there. We're gonna meet Blue doing that for sure. Well, we'll just hope that there's some faction that cannot run down here and immediately consume us. And after our hero grabs this, he can probably just warp over to something else. The ozonic stench of the mage's lightning attacks fills my nostrils, mingles with the smell of burning flesh. I stumble down a narrow passage, the dim phosphorescent light from the mycelial veins causing my shadow to flicker across the craggy stone. The rock shakes. I hear the deep-throated roar of the Urkin, and my skin crawls with terror. I'm gripping a weapon, a mighty axe, but it feels like dead weight in my hands. Am I rallying my men or running from the enemy? The passage opens into another tableau of slaughter, my kinsmen dying or dead on the cold stone, their blood sprayed in crimson arcs or pooled in dark puddles. I stop dead. You cannot linger. You are Toth Agnes. You are the first of the bloodline. Others need you. Empty words. This is a slaughter. I know there are no others. I've brought death upon these people who followed me away from the home vaults. Memory and reality are hard to distinguish. I slumber, drifting between the past and present. The battle is over, of that I'm certain. I survived, somehow. In the here and now I feel renewal, regrowth, and a desire to reach into new places. I'm confused. I slip back into my recollections, the familiarity outweighing the distress. Something grips my ankle, and my body tenses, fingers gripping the shaft of the axe. It's only a dying kinsman, though. To my shame, I don't even know his name. A handful of words spill from his lips, whispered and ragged. Avenge us! Tears come to my eyes, but my sadness swiftly turns to fury. I will, I reply, clutching his forearm. I promise. So, she's sort of in the aftermath of an attack by some ardent mages controlling an Urkin. She gives herself over to the Mycara, and she's sort of like integrated into the fungal consciousness, simultaneously directing it and being totally lost within it. I think it's really a fascinating story that is only sort of tangentially related to, the 4X game that's happening underneath. So, everything is hazy in the aftermath of the Mage's Massacre, but I survived. Now I must recover my strength and prepare for vengeance, a thing that has never gone wrong for anyone, ever. Research the Alchemist Furnace tech to enable the construction of Mycaran extractors, and we totally will. That will totally happen. We should check the legendaries. So, be the first to activate 4 luxury boosters to get an amount of wine that we would probably never be able to spend. And be the first to destroy at least 10 armies in order to gain tactical training. Doesn't feel very likely. You know what? Let's move up onto the cliff here. Have a look around over there. Oh, damn it. Stupid cliff faces. It blends right in with the trees. Well, I guess really we're going this way anyway, so... we're not going to be able to buy out our buildings early if we can't find any real ruins, though. And that one didn't have anything in it. Fun. That's very inconvenient. That ruin is hard to access. Alright, well, we're already adjacent to these ones. We should definitely talk to them. I should have talked to these ones before moving to. Oops. The tribe leader of these Gelderis has informed you their kidnapped brothers are somewhere in a nearby region called Gogthal. Locate a boss village and destroy it. We do not have any idea where Gogthal is. Okay, well at least we'll get some good searching done here. We can have our hero run over and speak to the eyeless ones before we warp over to grab the ruins. Yeah, I was really hoping to do some buyouts here. I mean, we can do a little bit. And I'm totally going to. I think it's very important we get that done. Oh, there's Blue. Oh, the Broken Lords. Pretty bad news, actually. I think I'm gonna have this unit... If we don't run away, we get killed. For sure. That's a 2 movement cost tile. That's a 3 movement cost tile, even. Okay, so they won't be able to reach us this turn. Okay, well, apparently that's not going to work. That's just a real solid cliff. This region looks pretty good. It's got an earth tower and stuff. Would have been nice to start there, potentially. Yeah, so the Broken Lords. We've had a little bit of experience with them as neighbors. They can be a real pain. Alright, let us parlay. They would like 8 gold. Well, we do have gold in the region. That is a thing that can happen. And then I'm going to warp Specialized Polyp 9S, who's a fencer, clearly, over here and grab this ruin for XP. Build some geomic labs in one of your cities to get the technology needed for... Okay. Well, I guess I will do that then. Thank you. Getting that big early food building done is really nice. That's going to be very helpful. Okay, and then we move away from the Blue Army. Please note that with your common frontier, you are encroaching on sovereign territory. My dude, he's mad because we settled adjacent to him. In his view, he put down first, and so we moved in on him. But screw him, is what I say to that. Okay, we certainly do not have 50 dust for you. Wow, this region, 2 trees of life, a golden tree. Yeah, wow, look at all this stuff. I wish we'd settled over here. I mean, that said, like, taking a number of turns to walk around really, really puts you behind, and this is a well above average settling location. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab Alchemist's Furnace. We'll focus on getting the Mill Foundry done, and then the Geomic Labs for the tech, of course. Yep, I got blocked off by blue. Okay, we already got a quest from the minor faction in this region. Okay, 30 dust. I mean, it's something. At this point, we're just ranging around looking for free money. Because, like, buying out this Mill Foundry would be really cool. And then maybe we can take it a tiny bit easy on the buying stuff out. Alright, come on, a large amount of free money. It is, unfortunately, a quest that requires spices. So basically we get nothing out of it, except for a level for Specialized Polyp 9S. So, are you going to be a governor or... Nope, probably not. He has Army Boost 2 and no governing skills, so probably we should keep him as a combat unit. The Mycara do have an awful lot of food income for, yeah, wow, minus food consumption, maybe minus all of the food consumption. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. That said, I do think we're going for this. And as we saw last game, having a skilled up infantry hero early on can be very, very powerful. The extra 100 health from Iron Taskmaster is game changing at low levels. And then, of course, Rallying Call gets very, very good. So we're not having much luck with these ruins. Things are not going well. I guess we can have this army turn around and come back and get this one. And remember, we can just make a way back. We can overgrow some ruin back here, and then a ruin out where we are, and just teleport home if it becomes a problem. For the moment, I'm happy to sort of range out and see what there is to see. And it looks like what there is to see is just a huge amount of absolutely nothing. Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed that we have to deal with Broken Lords again so quickly. I was hoping for a slightly different experience here. Found some Silix. They just don't even want to talk to me. Well, okay then. We generated another extremely cliffy map. Weird. Alright, so we've got our basic extractor tech. I am going to have this army come back and head toward this ruin. And we just met Purple. Sorry, that's not what I want. I was trying to zoom to where we met them. Ah, we met them right here, where they put down a city. So we sort of have an opportunity here where we could just jump them, right? Obviously, that, in theory, requires a declaration of war, which we cannot afford. But this is a danger of forward settling without an army around, is that a player could just pounce on you while you are small and weak. Alright, so we did get some dye for that, which is something, I guess. And we must deploy and fully grow 3 Mycaran extractors to move forward. There's not a particularly good reason for us to pop the die booster. So I guess we won't. Oh, you know what? I think... yeah, more blooms increases the cost of your Empire plan and of your luxury boosters. So we're gonna start doing some blooming here. It's it's a good idea for us to spend a booster now then. Because I do kind of want to try to compete on this. Alright, so we fired a booster. We're going to finish that. That's going to finish our geomic labs pretty quickly. And so... is it strategic boosters or is it any boosters? Okay, it just says 3 Mycaran extractors. Either strategic or luxury. Okay. Well, we should probably get some luxury extraction going. Something tells me we're going to need it. So you can see it's going to cost us 5 food per turn for 6 turns. Do we want to grab the glass steel in that region as well? And the cost goes up as you have more of them, of course. I do want to move our faction quest forward, like, as quickly as possible. So I think we are just going to grab the 3 extractor sites that we can see here. How badly does that hurt our food? You know, it's alright. It's alright. And then we do need to start researching another thing. The sewer would put us at baseline ecstatic, which is probably a good idea. Although, if we're only going to need 1 approval building, this is definitely more compelling, so maybe we don't rush to that. We grab, like, these first. So blue, the Forgotten and the Broken Lords are both pretty aggressive neighbors in my experience, but we may get lucky and have them be aggressive neighbors to each other, because they may not necessarily consider the Mycara to be a high priority target. Okay, don't put any influence in the military ministry. We don't actually... oh, that's... yep, that's a cliff. Well... phooey. So they gave us a quest that doesn't actually have a reward, which is a shame. And we don't really want to, like, pacifying that village is not a reward for us anymore. It's a reward for purple. So, unfortunately, it is going to happen. It's just like they wanted us to do a thing that we were definitely already going to do for free. So we are just going to give purple pacification for their birthday. We can hope that they are too aggressive to take advantage of it. Okay. That's kind of what I thought might happen. Cool, we found nothing. This is going really well so far. Somebody's entered Era 2 already. Because of course they have. In 2 turns, we finish Public Library and Open Pit Mine at the same time. Oh, interesting. Their assassin's very badly wounded. I almost want to just fight him, because we might be able to kill that assassin. In fact, we probably can kill that assassin. Without the militia. I mean, before the militia kill us. We will not escape, But it turns out he had more armies in the area. He had Sneaky, First Shadowhawk, an entire army of invisible units nearby, ready to reinforce, so it's a good thing we didn't take the bait there. I was sort of thinking that did not seem like a very smart attack, but with the knowledge that there was an additional 4-unit army waiting in the bushes, it seems smarter. I get it. Okay, just a lot of tribes just have no interest in giving us quests. This is going terribly. This is aside from our very good starting tile, this is going very, very poorly. Alright, I may just kill you, honestly. Alright, so we did that. We got Open Pit Mine. Okay. Purple did, in fact, destroy this village rather than waiting for me to pacify it for free. And to be fair, in their defense, they didn't know that we were on the way to pacifying it for free. Okay, so let's get that done. And, I mean, I do want to overgrow the gold. We know that. It's a lot of food. But I do want to do it. Okay, so we do get the garrison here. Yeah, let's just have at 'em. If they're not going to give me quest stuff, they can, at the very least, give me some experience points. So, our hero, as a sword user, has Infantry Slayer by default. Not so good against these flying units. I think we're going to start our base combat units way in the back here. Let's let the militia do as much of the fighting as they are allowed. So you have 4 move. I'm actually going to step backwards. Here is fine. You also step backwards. Again, just trying to let the militia bear the brunt of this. Okay, yeah. Now we totally do it. And they have that circular attack, which is very annoying. Okay, there we go. Minimize damage taken to our real units. 6 XP per unit. We did it. And we prevented this thing from spawning hostile garbage at us. And then, you know, we can just overgrow their village. Completely turn off growth on our main city. But, like, I do feel like this is a, this is like population, right? It's population-esque. Let's go explore this way. So we have 2 turns left on a lot of these growths. We could give you 50 dust. Yeah, I probably will. Do I want to redirect? Probably not. Blue's going to get that before I could get it. And so how does the buyout work? Okay, I click on it and then I just press the thing. 2 dust, huh? Seems pretty doable. What about this one? 10? Okay. I'll buy that out for sure. And then, like, if we press... Okay, so it costs more the more blooms you have. But it feels like we should probably just hit it... Well... Like, I want the food growth back, right? Yeah. This is going to prevent us from finishing that, that village's quest, but I think it's 100% worth it. And that one's 30. I'll take it. So we did it! Hooray! Even though I slumber, every day I feel myself grow stronger, more capable. Somehow I feel faraway places healing me and giving me sustenance. Soon I will come to full wakefulness, and understand, I'm sure. In the meantime, the memories of my people's slaughter at the hands of the mages only sharpens my enmity. Today I awoke and discovered the horrifying truth. I am Mykara, and the Mycara is me. We are one, a symbiosis of flesh and filaments, memories and myths. In the cold light of day, I can now clearly remember how I survived. The Mycara had fascinated me for a long time when I led those who would join me away from the home vaults. It was an ancient fungal species, mycelial tendrils and mushroom fruit, no sign of what it would one day become. Growing largely in the subterranean realm, it was unseen by most and overlooked by the rest. But I saw its potential. Sinewy, resilient, vigorous, I knew it could transform a Vaulter settlement. And it did. Crops, waste, defense. It was a wonder material. It even began to shed light on the legendary Urkin beasts, who reputedly emerged from the Aurigan crust every few centuries, before slipping back into folkloric tales. Sadly, one of those same beasts came under the spell of our ancient enemy, the mages, who used it to find and then destroy us. As my kinsman died in my arms, as I basked in my feelings of vengeance, a desperate idea came to me. The Mycara had brought me to this juncture, and the Mycara would grant me my revenge. After all, in my heart, I'd always been convinced it was much more than a mere mindless organism. I scrambled deeper and deeper into the earth, far into the inky darkness of the thickest mycelial forest, where thick tendrils vied with web-like skeins. Unable to move any further, I lay on a bed of filaments and curled myself into a ball. It swiftly ensnared me, a cocoon of protection wrapped around a heart of malice. Now we are one. It acts, I act. We act. Sometimes it almost feels like I'm doing things against my will. It's terrifying, but I will grow used to it, and even perhaps enjoy it. Besides, I have real power now, and the first task is to learn if I wasn't the only survivor. My new existence, a union of Mykara and Valter, is an unsettling one, but one that gives me power. Before I begin my quest for vengeance, I must interrogate those nearby to learn if others of my vault survived. So we gotta overgrow some minor faction villages. So you can see here we are on 4 populations, so overgrowing this village has not given us a point of population, but it does give us the resources on the tile. In fact, all of the fungal blooms are giving us the resources on their tile. So this is an important method of growth here. And hey, look at that. I did it. Without even thinking about it, we totally did it. So, good news. We can see that there are, in fact, temples over here through the fog. So, break wall, a pretty solid shield. And also, 30 dust. So, a different kind of pretty solid shield. So I think we'll have this army run up here, and then probably I'll break the hero off and recreate the hero as an army on the capital to search this ruin, and maybe that one if blue doesn't get to it first. And for the moment, I see no reason to overgrow any other stuff. I think we'll just hang out. And that means our hero will be in good position to turn in the, 8 gold? What did they want? Yeah, okay, we'll be in good position to turn in the 8 gold when we have it. Oh, right, except that we don't actually, it's going to take 16 turns to generate 8 gold off of one of our extractors. We can assimilate any faction that we have overgrown villages of, and the number of villages that we get to count for their effect is the overgrown number, not just stuff that's actually in our territory. Obviously, that means we also have to be prepared to defend our fungal blooms from players who would try to burn them. Which is, not always a thing that you can trivially do. $50 more dust, and then also a level up for Specialized Polyp 9S, and 40 more dust. Okay. Let's just go ahead and feed the 50 dust to you. They want us to bring 5 glass steel to the other Yota's village. This one. Located in the same region. Easy enough. Look, we're making friends. And I'm just going to break the hero off now. Let's unassign you. And then you can look around a little bit on your own. And we'll take our hero and we will create an army on the city of Sharan. Okay, 10 die. 10 die is cool. So we can pop an emerald booster right now. Okay, it takes a lot of blooms to move the cost of this up very much. I didn't need to be so nervous about that. We're going to have 40 influence pretty easily here. I don't know if we'll even do anything besides this for the first era. Maybe we just save the rest of it. Because, obviously we're going to want to do a better Empire plan. A more powerful Empire plan next era. Alright, please don't end the eclipse yet. Quickly. Huzzah! I got 10 more die. Alright, we're in a dust cloud here, so they do not see that I am present, and they will not come after me, and will be gone before they know what's up. I forgot that it was going to take a while for us to build up the amount of glass steel we need. We are not actually ready to turn in this quest yet, which means I don't really have a thing for this Ipotane to do. I guess we can just kind of head generally up this way and hope to find some more ruins over there. Okay, so we can build the Husbandry Center and the Center for Mineralogy really early, and I mean, we have a moment here. I am inclined to just try to, like, rush this down as fast as we can. Then, obviously, we bounce a bunch of people back over to food afterward. This is all coastline. I mean, this should be pretty safe, I would think. How much would it be to just buy that off right now? All of our dust? That is awkward. And we don't see any more ruins. Maybe we'll just let the growth happen. I mean, I don't want to be doing this. I do want to buy this out. I'm just worried that we're going to go broke. Yeah, let's not hit the button. Let's be on the safe side here. I want to make sure to step out of Blue's territory immediately. How much came off of that? So this would give us 4 turns of time to find more money. That I will take. Let's just get that done so that our city can get back to growing. Alright, will you talk to me if I parlay with this village? No, still no. Okay, purple expanded into blue in a way that is potentially interesting and also makes it really not very safe for us to explore this way. And blue expanded that way. So they're both playing forward. We may have to do something here. I'm a little concerned. So we only need 1 more technology to move up. It's probably mercenary market. We're probably, like, I know we don't get any benefit from having it right now. But I think that's true of a lot of the rest of these, especially since we don't plan to research sewer system. And we will definitely want mercenary market eventually. You know, there will come a time when it will be cool to be able to hire a governor for our city. We might want to just make Specialized Polyp 9S governor for a while. Just for the XP, I'm thinking. But it's going to be a few turns before we can do that reassignment anyway. Alright, Eclipse is over, and winter is very soon. I think we got really good use out of that Eclipse effect, though. Would have been nice for it to last 1 more turn, since I was just about to find a temple ruin. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with that. Alright, I guess just get home. Probably that's true for you too. This may be time to merge our army back up to prepare to maybe have to defend ourselves. And I am cool with remaining in industry mode through this next turn. We'll pop back over to food on the next one. Alright, so we've got a city that has a very established resource production rate. The dye has run out. Do I want to refire the dye booster? We can do this. We can get this thing done. I fire this. I'm not gonna launch the emeralds just yet. Okay, at 2 boosters, we are in first place. So nobody has fired a third. I think we can maybe afford to wait a second here. You know, we have the option of just firing the die booster again right now, and it will reset the cooldown, or the duration, but obviously pretty inefficient. Within the next 20 turns, explore one of these two ruins. The correct one. Which one's the correct one? I don't know. Hard to say. Alright, I am gonna... We'll have the armies merge up for that purpose then. This ruin, probably just completely off the table. Another strategic resource. That's interesting. I mean, I want to be able to try for the industrial megapole, obviously. We maybe could do it. But we don't need more titanium extraction for that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to just focus on growth here. And it's winter! Oh hey, Gelderus. Definitely a little bit on the dangerous side. Really, that's such a pain in the ass to navigate all these cliffs. I'm going to assign Specialized Polyp up here away from the Gelderus, because they're going to eat him. And we entered the second era right as this happened. I was not prepared for it, so I did not get us the building cost reduction that would have been nice to have. Although, I mean, we were running the die booster the whole time. It would not have been... How expensive would it have been in terms of influence? With the booster up, doing that gets us 15 extra per turn, so it would have been like 2 turns of that. Yeah, that's a bummer. Alright, we're going to grab Central Market and get ourselves permanently happy. And that means we do not need wine. We don't have to go for that wine booster. But I'm thinking about going for it as much to keep it out of the AI's hands as for any other reason. So we definitely want to be building kind of toward the coast, but also into this forest. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And my plan is to just build these 2 lines all the way out to the coast. So we're going to get to the ocean late, but we still might be able to actually get some value out of it. And we're managing to maintain something on the dust front here. I'm kind of thinking, like, I'm not really thinking too hard about this anymore. As much as I want to get that quest done, we have to save our glass deal if we want to have any chance of the megapole. And it would be nice to have. You often see it go to a single city faction, because they get that really powerful city going early. Hopefully that's what we've done. So yeah, we're just running to that, just in case it spawns an army on us, because we know one of the 2 ruins for this quest will spawn an army. And we could do some overgrowth for the purpose of, teleporting back home from that, but honestly, I just want to continue food focusing the city for the moment. Until we have, yep, the boss village was destroyed by someone else. Until we have the resources to start the megapole, I just want to make sure we're producing as much population as we can. Okay, cool. We got our Eye of the Hernas. And we got ourselves enough pearls to get an altar nice and early, which seems like a thing we probably ought to do. So the altar gives +5 approval, +3 food, and +2 influence per level. Yeah, we can make this a thing that's going to go in the middle of the chain. So we're currently pulling in 1.5 glass steel per turn, where we're in position to maybe kind of sort of get this done. So actually, if that's what I'm thinking, I'm going to build the altar here, and we'll put the megapole there, and then build a district around it and just level it up as fast as possible. That's my brilliant plan. It does rely on blue deciding not to try to eat me, because like this is all time where we're going to be relatively militarily weak, but there are two things going for us on that field. Yeah, no big surprise there. We have two things going for us on that. First of all, you know what? I'm going to pop our other two boosters here just because I am concerned we're going to lose out on the wine if I don't. And then we're going to start drinking the wine. Get to fervent. Get work done. Do we want to start trying to make peace? It's never too early to start trying to make peace. But no, I think the granary is what we want next. So yeah, we got ourselves a legendary deed. I saw that we were second in progress on that, meaning somebody else had popped their third, and I was just like, no, we gotta... It is time to get it. Sure, I'll fight you. Why not? Get some XP off of this. They are faster than we are. That's a shame. So you have 2 movement. You're going to end up here. And then our hero is going to run from here to there and massacre you. And the ranged units can just, yeah, be over here. Alright, I don't know why we would want to not focus. Hooray, teamwork. And you know, we do need to be flipping villages over. So right now that looks like 22 turns. If we cut to this, it's 15. And then, like, we could maybe buy off a small portion of it, but probably not. When this ends, when the winter ends, we're not even going to go up to all that much extra food here. So this is a big commitment. It's a significant cost if we whiff it. Yeah, it makes me a little nervous, honestly. Alright, I'm going to try to just turn in the quest on this, rather than destroying their villages. Are we doing on that gold? 5? Okay, so we're going to be able to turn in the quest down here pretty soon, too. Alright, a good time for that to end. That takes us up to 12 turns on the megapole, which is maybe doable, honestly. I guess one thing I do want to look at here, we are rank 1, so nobody else has started it yet. Yeah, this can happen. We can do this. So we're going to hang out in this area for a couple of turns. Is there anything of value that we could be doing? Not really. The first Urkin has emerged, which is not good news. Borders are temporarily open, is the effect that will be added next winter. Is that something I want? I think that hurts me way less than it hurts everybody else, so I'm not going to spend pearls fighting it. Yeah, I think so. Oh, this is a destroyed village. Blue must have done that. Do I want to overgrow that? I'm going to let the next point of population get born, and then we'll talk about it. Hey there, friend. Can't help but notice you're in my region. What's going on? Okay, kill Urk and Lice. Yeah, we've seen this particular competitive quest before. So what are Blue's stats right now? Probably what's going on is they're trying to steal my pearls. Yeah, sure looks like it. That's only 2 pearls. It's probably not worth spending the influence to kick them out. But now they know about the megapole, because they can see this. They don't know what our progress is. They don't know this part, but they can see this. So this could be a moment when they decide to do something, when they decide to step up. This unit is, or this army is pretty wounded, and their stats are bad. It says Stalwarts 2, so these are redesigned, but they're probably just equipped with basic, the very most basic iron gear. So we're probably okay. Probably not actually in danger. Alright, we're accumulating dust now, hopefully headed toward a, an actual, what do you call it? Words, boy. Hero. Governor. Hopefully headed toward a governor. I'm gonna stand right here for a turn. I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything. We could buy reduction in buyout costs. I guess, actually, let's go diplomats, man. So let's learn how to do diplomacy right now when we don't have time to build anything anyway, because we're very busy. And now this turn, after we get the population, now we start overgrowing villages again. So let's go pay this off. Oh, somebody burned the village down. Well, we still get pacification of the other one. And that village, that region has just become purple. Cool. Well, shit. We may have to get aggressive. I mean, once we have the megapole up, we have way more options for getting aggressive, right? It's much more sensible for us to build a bunch of military units very quickly. I'm gonna go life again over getting the reinforcement slots early. It's not like it's not a choice that has zero cost, but it really helps to have life. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Let's get down and have a chat with the minor faction in our region. And we can kill the hostile minor faction army, because they're totally trivial. Oh, here. There we go. But yeah, I have concerns, for sure. So bringing on this minor faction village is another point of population, which will help us get the megapole faster. We were in pretty good position on this. Somebody just entered the next era. I mean, we don't have to manual that. Kekators die very easily. Hooray, we did it. Pacification. So now 7 plus 1 did not take a turn off the megapole, sadly. And I think we gotta try to overgrow this so as to add its resources to our own, but way more for our quest than for any other reason. And then I guess at this point, like, we could go burn the other Nidya village and try to convert that as well. Because we do need more conversion. Also, we have a bunch of influence. Do I want to just assimilate here? Probably not, right? I don't really think this is very good. The combat unit is fine. I don't think that it's necessarily a good fit against the enemies that we're fighting, though. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with the assimilation. Oh, somebody's got right-of-way technology. The Forgotten are very weird. They have very, very strange mechanics. They don't believe in science, which might strike you as a thing that is detrimental to living in the world. And it is. Like, honestly, I would say that I think the Forgotten are usually the weakest faction. But in the hands of the AI, they still have a lot of resource bonuses and stuff. They are not to be ignored. Alright, so we got our diplomats, Mance, and it strikes me that this is perhaps a very good time to try to make a friend. let's at least talk about the possibility of making a friend, right? Oh, right, it's not actually the eclipse yet. I can't buy out a thing. So... probably a big science boost would make sense. And then, yeah, let's have a quick chat with these other players. So you're worried on account of your armies are feeling very weak. So maybe we can make friends with you? Maybe you're eager to be friendly? Not so eager. Once we're friendly with somebody, there's all kinds of stuff that can be done. Oh, that's true, we do have a silly amount of wine. Like I was saying before, you can sometimes, once you've got someone friendly enough, convince them to trade you a city, and then you can overgrow it and get their trait without having to, like, make a big deal of it. But also, once they're friends with you, it's harder for them to declare war on you, which can be very beneficial. Out of curiosity, how do you feel about... Okay, you're not much harsher on it, honestly. We don't need all this wine. We could use it to buy a little bit of safety. I think I'm into that. We'll give a little bit of wine to each of them. The littlest bit that will still work. Okay, he's not giving us a negative modifier for making peace with a player he's scared of yet. That is a thing that happens later. Okay, so now it would be considerably more expensive in terms of influence for either of them to declare war on us. And also, they are, in theory, considering us in a more friendly sort of way. This is a good time to be coming over here, since we know the things are going to light up. And we found both of the kinds of conflux that are not the movement one. I'm not even going to divert for those. Okay, another 60 dust. Very cool. Let's grab the... Oh, that's a settler. We do not wish the stink of your fungal bloom... Didn't we just make peace? Do you know what peace means? If I give you Central Market, you'll give me 2 pearls? No. What? No. What's wrong with you? Okay, well, I'm still gonna get this. But that's a shame, because now we can't overgrow that, even if we do take it down. Which means that in order to overgrow these... in order to finish our faction quest, we have to find some new villages somewhere. We got settled around very quickly, in a way that I do not care for. Out of curiosity. I cannot get them to trade me a city. I mean, what if we just declared war? What would it cost for me to backstab you now? 137. Yep, because we're at peace and because the status changed recently. Well, we may have to make some moves here. Let's definitely go ahead and fire that again. Yeah, inconvenient. That's what I would call this. Fortunately, there is a play available. There is something that can be done. Wolfbane the Shepherd is a staff? Okay, so... not a thing we can actually make use of. Let's fight this manually just to make sure that nothing crazy happens. So, we're not actually going to be able to keep them off of us necessarily. Alright, so you're going to move to here, in the hopes that it will prevent this guy from just running up on... You know, we don't want to be fighting anywhere near a cliff, because flying units... I guess he could move here, but I don't think he'll do it on the first turn. I don't think he'll see our move coming. And hopefully we can kill this first guy real quick. No, we cannot. Yep, that's gonna hurt. You need to stop him. And you need to separate from your ally. Man, you guys could try a little bit harder. Actually, at this point, we can merge back up. Alright, had we auto-resolved that, I think it is likely we would have taken a lot more damage. Because the AI does not always command our units in the most intelligent way. So... I don't really want to overgrow any of this stuff. So it looks like I'm allowed to overgrow the ruins, even in other players' territory. How much do heroes cost? Like 400-ish? We're gaining, but we're not gaining that quickly. Alright, the most important thing for us, obviously, at this point, is getting that tower done. If we get the tower, then we have all kinds of additional options, including getting really aggressive with our neighbors. Alright, movement conflux. Now I'm super fast. Oh, and somebody got the ghost thing. I'm not... What is... I was imagining this as a thing like you wore over your finger. Right, like this is where the joints of your finger are, but maybe it's like a piece of legwear? I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's got a weird tiny belt. Alright, so we know we want to build this thing immediately afterward so we can get the Megapole leveled up, because it does get plus 25 industry per level. But it looks like we have, in fact, pulled off the thing. Alright, hooray! A legendary. And religious fervor has begun. Plus 4 influence on terrain with anomaly, which is great news because we have a ton of terrain with anomaly. We also have 60 more dust. Huzzah! So we're actually getting pretty close to being able to hire a new hero. Okay, we can make it to that thing if the eclipse lasts one more turn. And I think we wanna stay hardcore industry mode until this burrow is finished, and then maybe we can potentially back it up from there. But I definitely want to get that done. That burrow is a very large amount of industry. Alright, please be a large amount of dust for buying heroes with. Or, I mean, there are other cool things. But yeah, pretty happy about that. So, let's talk about hero purchasing. Now, a cultist hero would maybe be a very good fit. Edra the Listener, of course, is a cultist hero who has no governing traits. You're all the Speaker. Similarly, no governing traits. I was just thinking this kind of stuff is going to be very powerful because that city's going to end up with a massive population. But there's nothing wrong with, say, a Soyela Tocho giving you a big industry boost. Food boost 1 is not very compelling. Influence boost and dust boost is interesting, but Forgotten do not have much in the way of like good governing traits, good governing skill points to spend. Iraku II gives influence and fortification, and then access to the Morgau tree, which is kind of weird. It's like this makes the hero more powerful when it is embarked as a ship unit, and then like plus approval on cities with oceanic exploitation tiles, and not really a good fit for what we're doing. Jasa Murdap has food and dust efficiency, sadly, so that's only only useful if you have people working dust. Food efficiency 1. Dust efficiency 2. Yeah, this is rough. This is to put it simply, a pretty bad crop of heroes. Okay, Ululani Raui is kind of interesting. We've had good experiences with this one in the past, obviously. A little bit more compelling in volcanic circumstances, but you still get to Blazing Ingenuity and then Inspirational Leader pretty quickly. So you're not totally ideal, but you are currently present, which counts for a lot. And already level 2, which is cool. And the skill point is spent in the correct place. So when we flip into hard industry mode, you make us really good at that. Plus 8 science per hero's level, like, yeah. We're just gonna do this. Not perhaps who I would have imagined I would hire for this job, but honestly not a bad fit. Okay. That even, I think, took a turn off those burrow streets. Okay, so this city has a ton of industry now. I don't know what I want to do with you. There's not really anywhere else for us to loot. I think I might just pick up Shipyard, and we might start looking for other lands that are not already conquered. That might be the place that we're at, and if we're gonna do that, how do we get into the ocean? Okay, there's a spot over here where we could do it. It's gonna be 4 turns before we have the tech. I mean, I don't know. We have time to look around a little bit, I think. Okay, so that's where Blue City is in that region. Hey, that's Khazar. How's it going, friend? Oh, that's an enemy army. Potentially quite hostile, but also quite a lot slower than I am. You know what? I think we should overgrow this. Let's go ahead and grab this temple. Okay, we're not going to be buying that one out. Just so that we have a place to be able to teleport people home very quickly. One end of the thing should already be prepared. The Forgotten have managed to reach good trade routes first, so good for them. And yeah, I think I still want to pick up Shipyard. We have some stuff to build here that we want to catch up on before we need to be researching more buildings. But we may try on land to find some places where we can destroy some stuff. And the Urkin's given us a vision of this. I guess I could just start... Yeah, I'm going to start overgrowing that. That's going to hurt our total food output a little bit, but I think it's okay. Let's stay on industry long enough to get that granary finished. And then next turn we'll move over. We're about to hit new Empire plan time, and we have enough to do this, and I think that's all we really want to do. And at some point we should probably assimilate somebody. But it's not really critical right now. So I'm going to make sure that we are moving here real early in the turn. Actually, go this way. We may as well explore a little bit, too. Oh, hey, it's additional armies. Also, a temple that they didn't explore yet. We found dust. And also, dust. And on top of that, some dust. Fun. Definitely grab this. Man, think about how nice it would have been if we had had that building cost reduction. I'm going to go vision up on our units as well, I think. It's a good general use sort of thing. Alright, so... we haven't ever searched that, but that's not getting us where we're going. I'm gonna turn back this way and try to find my way to new villages for us to wreck and then overgrow. And for the moment, nobody has gotten hostile with my extractors, which I really appreciate. Not that we have a ton of need for the strategic resources, but... Oh, right, also, like, we're definitely past the hour. I should probably... Okay, let's go to the end of this turn. So, I think I'm going to try to walk around the north side of this little cliff here. Just to put some distance between me and Blue's army. Somebody is producing all 4 of the first 2 eras of strategics worth of goods, which is a little concerning. What player color are they? That's brown, okay. What is this one? Attack and defeat at least 10 armies of other empires. We are rank 5. 4 players have fought other players already. Stuff is happening out there in the world. I know it's quiet in our backyard, but it's not going to be like that forever. Oh, hey, okay, so we're getting a sense of Blue's ridiculously huge army. Like, a really absurdly huge army. Now, we're at peace, which, you know, has some meaning. They're still definitely... I think they're allowed to attack my stuff in their region. No, cannot attack each other without breaking the treaty. Okay, well that's nice. Then I didn't need to make that move. I was remembering it as peace was they could still attack you inside their territory, and alliance was they couldn't ever attack you. This is nice. I assume they would not be into this. Yeah, I could probably make it happen by trading them some wine, but we're going to need some influence before we can make such a trade. So, I did talk briefly about getting someone to trade you a city. On that screen, it says that they can only trade you a city as part of a truce negotiation. I believe the Mycara have a weird exception to that, where if you are allied with somebody, you can ask them for a city. And I mean, they're going to make you pay, but it is a thing that can happen. So, we'll see. Diplomatic technologies, maybe highly valuable. And I'm kind of thinking maybe we want to pop Specialized Polyp off here and make him a city on a unit on Sharan so that we can start exploring the sea. Yeah, since we're not going to get attacked or anything, we'll use the Epitanes to explore this area. Oh, hey, that's a different player's border. Okay, well that'll be good information. And you can direct yourself seaward. Sorry, please don't take offense. Yeah, and with that, I think that's what we're gonna call it. So honestly, I don't know how I think this is going. We got settled in real fast, and we hit a block on our faction quest, which is a little bit of a shame. But we have a pretty large city that is quite capable for turn 41. With, 204 industry and stuff. So, I have high hopes. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we will continue trying to grow both upward and outward. And we'll see you then.